Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are focusing in and zooming in on, I would say, one of the most frequently asked questions that I receive, and that is how to go no contact. How to go no contact with a covert narcissist. How to go no contact with a psychopath. How to go no contact with a personality disordered individual who seeks and has oftentimes succeeded at pushing your buttons, emotionally manipulating you, emotionally or physically violating you, someone who has crossed your boundaries, someone who has targeted you, someone who has focused on bringing you down, competing with you for your attention to your own life. They are targeting and competing with your time, energy, money, space, belongings, whatever it is that they want. They are targeting you to give it up. Give it up to them. Succumb to them. Acquiesce to them. Succumb to their attempts to derail you, distract you from your own inner knowing or your own sense of inner strength, or really, I would say, living in tune and aligned with your own values and really your own instinct of what is good for you. Oftentimes, the emotional manipulator, a narcissist or a psychopath, will use the tactics of charm, seduction, and emotional manipulation to get you to doubt yourself or furthermore violate your boundaries in order to succumb to them, follow them, give attention to them in their needs. And oftentimes it's the need for attention, the need for physical attention, emotional attention, financial attention. And they want you to basically fall into really apparently their trap, or what feels like a trap, of their sense of superiority over you, control over you, power over you, and really with a lack of empathy. So it's with a tinge or tainted with a disrespect of you. So they're seeking your attention, not only their attention, but simultaneously stating a disrespect of you. So it's like a push and pull, a yin and yang, where they're wanting your attention, but yet just disrespecting you at the same way. And especially the psychopath, these people want to, they're going to target those people who are vulnerable, who have a need in their life, a genuine need for attention, love, validation, things of this nature. And so they're going to go after those people who are a little bit wobbly on their foundation, their physical foundation, or, really the joy of the conquest, the thrill of the game, the thrill of the win. I mean, it's really very much like a hunter and prey relationship that these individuals really sort of participate in. So they hunt for people who they can overpower, who they can control, who they can feed on psychologically, feed on spiritually, feed on physically. And you'll find that it's very much a one-directional, a one-way relationship. So if you are able to understand the difference between what is healthy relationship and what is unhealthy relationship, and how to go no contact, if you constantly feel like you are having to feed into them, acquiesce to them, telling them yes, constantly validating of them, and you are not receiving like in return, you are not feeling the same reciprocity. You are feeling like you constantly have to give in to them, bow down for them, make yourself a doormat to them, be waffled over and walked over for them in order to keep the relationship going or to give them what they need. You constantly have to acquiesce to them, give in, succumb to a seduction, a ploy, a hoover attempt, basically, which is an attempt to try to distract you from what you need to do. So that's how they originally target is they will break down your physical, emotional, or psychological boundaries. In other words, the I am. They will break you down at the I am. Like, I have to work. I have to I have to eat, I have to go to the gym. I need, they're going to violate you at the I need level and make you basically twist it around so that it's like they need. And you're then, your life becomes they need versus I need. And so you develop an identity versus like, there, and it's a very specific twist because there is great joy in being able to serve and provide for others. But yet it has to be a self-regenerating sort of process where, you are having your needs simultaneously fulfilled. In other words, where you're able to give and not feel depleted. Where there's an inner exchange between you and the person, where you're able to give and receive simultaneously. That's the law of exchange. That's an equal and opposite reaction where you're validating someone and they're validating you, and that's a fully functional relationship. That is what the body, mind, and spirit needs. Now, when you're with a narcissist, there's a they, but there's not oftentimes an I in that process. So if you have been hoovered, however you want to pronounce it, sucked in, distracted, made to feel like your life, your identity is about taking care of them. Instead of your I am is becoming them, your I am is becoming they are, and you're constantly having to focus on their needs, and their needs now are trying to replace your needs. This can be very, very, very crippling, very destructive. It can really destroy people and really their proper mindset. And from, realizing that your needs are important, your needs matter, and that you need to be able to regulate this and regulate your understanding of how, basically, how to deal with and interact with the relationship. So once you understand that mentally, emotionally, and this has to really get beyond the logical sense. If you have logic on your side, you have a reason, you have validation, you have objective, factual evidence that, this person is hurting you by the things that they have done, said, and furthermore projected onto you. So there's oftentimes a tension that is projected out onto you from these people. There's an energetic field with which is emitted from this person to try to overtake you through the charm, through the psychopathic seduction, the brainwashing, telling you that you're doing the wrong thing by taking care of yourself. You're doing the wrong thing by having a boundary. You're doing the wrong thing by being happy and living out of kindness and generosity. You're doing the wrong thing by not succumbing to their negative conquest. You're doing the wrong thing by not giving into their button pushing. You're doing the wrong thing by not falling prey to their request to take you down. So they're going to seek to bring you down, destroy you, make you unhappy, and they're going to make you feel guilty, fearful if you don't give in. In other words, they're so used to you falling prey to them, they're going to keep going. They're going to keep trying for that attention. They're going to keep trying to see if they can shame you. For some reason, there's like a sadistic element to it, or sadomasochistic element to it, where for some reason these individuals take great pride and joy in knocking others down, especially those who they try to scapegoat and really kind of single out or isolate for that. And you want to pull out, you want to clear your aura of that even tendency, and for them to even get in underneath your skin. And so really to go no contact and resist the Hoover, you have to understand and really accept in your heart of hearts that it's the right thing to do. So once you can come to that bound, that at the bottom of your heart, really become grounded and accept that and say, okay, this is right. It is right. It is proper. It is in the best interest of all. And my higher self is acknowledging this. My heart of hearts, in the bottom of my heart, the voice which I've been trying to shut out or deny, or live in denial of, and have been bargaining back and forth. Should I do this? Should I do that? Once you know, and you know that you know, and you know that you know that you know, you have to have the backbone. You have to have the inner conviction. You have to have the commitment. And commitment is different than just being curious. Well, I wonder, maybe I should not resist, I should not go backwards in life. I should not go back there. And I think it's oftentimes fear and fear of success that causes people to retract back and regress back to the negative violator in their life. They succumb to the Hoover attempt. It is the fear of success. It is the fear of being independent. It is the fear of being your own person. It's the fear of being in control of your own emotions. And it's the fear of acknowledging this truth that you've been trying to push out for so long and really deprive yourself of. So it becomes like a self-deprivation. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that I don't deserve, or I am not. It's the I am not. So I am not lovable. Let me prove how not lovable I am. And, let me prove how ineffective I am. And let me prove how dependent on you I am. And let me prove to you how weak I am by giving back. So these are the deep voices. These are the, remember the power of the subconscious mind, that which is operating underneath the surface, day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour, week to week, year to year. And oftentimes the unconscious is the seat of our valuation of ourself, our evaluation of ourself. And if you look at how you have evaluated yourself, oftentimes if you are evaluating yourself, and I know that this is deep, but I applaud you for going there. How you have evaluated yourself has been imprinted on your subconscious by the messages and erroneous messages that have been fed to you by this narcissistic controlling person. And you have realized that they put the messages, they programmed you, they conditioned you to be, act, and behave in this way and feel this way, and have created an identity along that track, that blueprint, that template. Realize that, okay, those messages that created the structure, the blueprint of your personality and how you related to them and how you related to the world and how you related to your career and how you related to others and what you allowed yourself to experience and what you allowed yourself to feel in situations and pursue, and then think along the lines of positivity or joy, or my life could never be this good. Who fed you those messages? Who fed you these deleterious negative messages? And get them out of there. Get them out of there. Get the negative messages from this person, because realize that they have everything to gain by you feeling negative. They have everything to gain by conquering you. They have everything to gain by you feeling disempowered. And if you see that interaction, if you see that dynamic, even though it's not how you look at life, it is how this person looks at you in life. And this is how this person looks at others in life. And it's oftentimes, as a viewer so aptly stated, that they had to really accept that there are others in life who look at life, they're in a much different place psychologically than you. And oftentimes they're in a much more negative place, even though it belays their outer appearance of charm and this and seduction. Underneath it all, there's a negative element. And once you can ascertain this, once you can see that this is how they look at life and it's negative, and you've assessed it as so, you've determined it as so, you have arrived at the conclusion as so, you have, it is all adding up for you now. And now that is added up for you, you can now make the equation. You can now arrive at the objective that this is what it is. And then you release it without judgment and without blame on yourself. It is what it is, and release them and let them go, and realize that if they had manipulated you to constantly feel in fear and shame and all these negative feelings, release it and let it go. That's if that was their goal, their intent, their accomplishment, their success, let it go. Let it go. Realize that this is how oftentimes people had targeted or insinuated or projected onto you to get them what they needed in their life. But you no longer are going to be the no longer fuel that need in them to feel better than. So now fuel yourself and go no contact. Just don't flinch. When they say, when they're coming back at you, it's just you're now grounded in a space of peace and knowing and conviction. So oftentimes action and just going no contact, not succumbing, not bowing down, not being walked over, not being waffled over is your strength. And so once you can embody that, it's a personal embodiment. Once you embody that, no attempt can penetrate you. It just bounces off of you. Like they say, like the way water beads on oil. There's literally there's no mix of water and oil. It cannot. One is in its own element. So realize that they are the oil, you are the water, you are pure. And if they are trying to hover you back in, contaminate you, taint you with this negative mindset, realize that you just stay in the element, stay in your element, stay in your body, mind, and spirit. And, use your affirmations. I am the water of life. I am the water of life, and I am flowing forward in my life, and I'm allowing my own spirit to motivate and drive me forward. And I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable being with who I am. And I'm comfortable not being insulted. I'm comfortable not being violated. I'm comfortable not giving in. I'm comfortable not being seduced. I'm comfortable in my truth. And as you can do that, there's that acceptance will resonate and will fill your body, mind, and spirit. And it will become much easier to go no contact, and to resist and to say no, and to deflect it, and to really identify it. And furthermore, your own body, your own natural mechanism will begin to take place, and you'll begin to be able to say no. You'll be able to resist the text. You'll be able to say, okay, this is where I stumbled. I'm not falling anymore. The knees aren't scuffed up. The head isn't scuffed up. I'm letting them go, and I'm okay living in my peace. And I'm letting go of the fear of success, and I am now focusing on my success, and I know what it is, and I'm not falling prey anymore. So once you validate that, you experience it, you allow yourself to experience it in your body, then it will become much easier for you to act on that foundation, and that healthy foundation which you give to yourself. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.